Hi IT lovers, welcome to a new session of my Trilingual ECDL e-learning tutorials. Access Advanced number 1 part 3 today in 2023. Again, let's move on with the practice of the demo test from Easy4me.at in German, and again with English and French translation of the questions. This sample test contains 15 questions, and now we are continuing with question number 7, 8, and 9 A's and B's. All right, you all, we're good to go. Come on, let's do this. Okay, back to our instructions. We already have performed 6 questions together. Let's go straight to question number 7. We start. Frage Nummer 7. Erstellen Sie eine neue Abfrage, um in der Tabelle Komponist im Feld Komponist nach Duplikaten zu suchen und anzuzeigen. Das Abfrageergebnis soll die Felder Komponistnummer und Komponist anzeigen. Speichern Sie die Abfrage unter Duplikate-Komponist. Now, same question in English, number 7. Create a new query to display duplicates in the field called Componist of the table, also called Componist. The query result will show the Componist number and Componist field. Save the query as Duplicate Componist. En français, donc, la traduction de la question numéro 7. Créer une requête qui affichera les doublons dans le champ nommé componiste de la table nommée aussi componiste. Le résultat de la requête affichera les champs componiste number et componiste. Enregistrez en nommant la requête duplicate componiste. All right, let's go. Okay, here we are. This is our exercise. I already saved it with the right name, number 1, part 3. So now we have to go ahead and create a query. So we go to tab create, of course. And we go to query wizard. And here, as you can see, we have a lot of options, and we have find the duplicates query wizard. This is what we want. We choose this one. We hit OK. So we are going to work, of course, with this table called componist. And we hit next. And here we have components. This is where we have to find the duplicate. So this is the one we're gonna throw in the second area. And then next. And then we have to add the field componist also. As you can see now, it's written additional query fields, and we want this one too. And then we hit next. And then all we have to do is to insert the right title, which is duplicate componist. And here we are, duplicates componist. And then we can just finish. Let's see the result. So here we can see that these are all the duplicates of the query called componist. Brahms we have twice, Schubert twice, and Vivaldi we have also twice. We are good. And now all we have to do is to just save it. So when you go ahead and close it and you go back to query, you can check that you still have your query you just created. Duplicates componist, you can open it again and it's here. Or else it's going to ask you to save. But it was already saved. So we are good. We can go back to our instructions. Now question number 8, Frage Nummer 8. A. Bearbeiten Sie die Abfrage Einkaufssumme Classic. Gruppieren Sie nach Bezeichnung und berechnen Sie den Mittelwert von Gesamt. B. Die Abfrage soll nur das Ergebnis von Classic anzeigen. Alright, now English translation of question number 8. A. Edit the query called Einkaufssumme Classic. Group by label and calculate the average of field called Gesamt. B. The query should only display the result of the label called Classic. En français, ça donne 8A. Modifier la requête qui s'appelle Einkaufssumme Classic. Regrouper par étiquette ou label ou logo ici, hein, et calculer la moyenne du champ nommé Gesamt. B. La requête ne doit afficher que le résultat du label nommé classique. Now let's go and do this. All right, we know it's a query. So we expand the queries gallery here, and we have to choose the right one called Einkaufssumme Classic. We double click, and here we are. So we have like two fields, one called Bezeichnung and the second one Gesamt, as you can see. Now we go to the design view, and here we are. So we have to group. In order to group, we have to go and click here by totals, by group show and hide in the ribbon. We choose here, and now we can group. Bezeichnung is already grouped by Bezeichnung, which is the label, so we don't move anything anymore here. But here we have to choose average of Gesamt. This is what we're doing right here. And as we are here, we are going to choose the label. Bezeichnung means label, called Classic. So here we type Classic. And all we have to do now is to run the query. So we go by group results here, as you can see, run. And here we are. So now when we see that, it means that the field is just too little. We have to extend it like this. And now we see it, and we see only Classic. And this is what we were supposed to do. So we are good. This is average. That's a big number right there. We are good, so we can close. And now it's going to ask us, of course, if we want to save. Yes, we want to save. We are good with this query. Now let's go back to our instructions. Okay, that's question of the day. Remember, we do three questions at a time. We got time. Il n'y a pas le feu, comme on dit en français. Alors, Frage Nummer 9. Bearbeiten Sie die Abfrage Ankäufe-Zeitraum. Mit der Abfrage sollen Datensätze ausgewählt werden, deren Ankaufsdatum zwischen einem Anfangsdatum und einem Endedatum liegt. A. Beim Öffnen der Abfrage soll zuerst nach dem Anfangsdatum gefragt werden und dann B. Dann soll nach dem Endedatum gefragt werden. Now the translation of the last question of the day. Question number 9. Edit the query called Ankäufezeitraum. The query is intended to select records with purchase dates between a start date and an end date. Now A, 9A. When opening the query, the start date should be asked first, and then B, then the end date should be asked. En français, ça donne traduction de la question numéro 9. Modifier la requête nommée Ankäufe Zeitraum. Cette requête est destinée à sélectionner des enregistrements dont la date d'achat est comprise entre une date de début et une date de fin. Donc, maintenant 9A. Lors de l'ouverture de la requête, la date de début doit être demandée en premier. Et ensuite B. Ensuite, la date de fin doit être demandée. Now they're talking about parameters. Let's go and do that. This time we have to open this one, the first query called Ankäufe Zeitraum. We double click, we take a look at it. So here we have the Ankaufnummer, here we have the date, datum, these are the dates. And if we take a look down here, we can see that we have 500 records. Okay, let me go to the last record to check. Yes, we have 500 records, and these are the dates. And now we have to go and insert a parameter. So we go by design view again. This is where we make, all the modifs. And of course, we have to do it here by the field called datum, the dates. And here by criteria, we enter our parameter. It's like a function which we have to know by heart. It's always going to be the same pattern. And here it's a pattern we have to use with the keyword between. This is what we have to keep in mind. It's the keyword between. So the function is going to start with between, or the parameter. Now let's start. We have to write between. Oh yes, we have to make sure we remember the start date and the end date. So let's go back and take a look at the start date. The start date here is the 3rd of January 2010. And now we go to the last record, the last record. And the last record, the end date is going to be 14 of April 2010. Okay, now we can go back to design view. These are important things in order to enter the parameter right. So we write in here between, and then square brackets. This is important. We have to use the square brackets for this one. And then enter start date. We close the square bracket number 1. And then we have to insert an end between the start and the end date. Now we open another one, enter end date, and we close the square bracket. Between, open square bracket, enter start date, close the square bracket, and enter end date. You have to care about the capital letter at the beginning of each word, not each word, but by between, enter, end, and the other enter. All we have to do now is to run the query. We run it, and of course it's going to ask us for the start date, and we remember it was 03/01, yes, and that was 2010. This is a start date, okay, and now it's asking us for the end date. That was the 14th of April, and that was also 2010. Now hit OK, and we go take a look. And this is what we were supposed to do, to enter the parameter. All right, we are good. Now when we want to close it, it's going to ask us if we want to save it, of course. And now if we open it again, now we have to do it all the time. All the time we close it and we want to reopen it. It's going to ask us for the start date and for the end date. And here we are, and this is what we were supposed to do, to enter the parameter. All right, we are good with question number 9. All right, you all, I'm gonna go ahead and save it one more time, and then I'm going to collapse the queries again, and the rest is coming next if God's willing. Until then, may He bless you. Bye bye.